Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jake Show, or Jake's Break. Still deciding on a name. Maybe you guys could help me out.
Yeah, we can vote on that.
Today we have Joey Meily, the awesome dude he is, and we're going to talk a little bit about who he is and what his role is at Dubsado and what makes him so awesome. Welcome to my show, Joey.
Thank you.
And
it's my first ever podcast. This is weird hearing my own voice.
it's kind of a fun experience.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah. So, Joey, you like clothes and apparel.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave with the clothes. Okay, yeah, I do.
But you only wear one hat and one hat every day.
Yeah, I don't know. For better or worse, I kind of pick a hat and I'll just wear it until you can't wear it anymore, and then I'll buy a new one. But I work around it. Right
Do you
now,
ever not wear a hat?
So at my old job, I wasn't allowed to wear a hat, so I felt like people didn't even know who I was because it's such a part of my personality. Now that I'm able to wear a hat, I wear it every day, dude. It's a luxury, in my opinion.
Okay, got it. And so, you also like vintage clothes and picking stuff up at flea markets. Where'd you get that?
Dude, I do. Honestly, YouTube. There was like a lot of influencers that sort of like brought the hype of like wearing vintage clothing, and there's a cool narrative with like wearing clothes from the 80s and the 90s and seeing like the trends and colors that were in at that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I do. I love flea markets. The Rose Bowl flea market's the best one.
I've never been to it.
It's crazy. It's like it's once a month, and it's ginormous. Around the Rose Bowl in the parking lot, they have different sections for like antique furniture.
I feel like I would just leave with a bunch of stuff I didn't need in the first place.
May or may not leave with a bunch of stuff you don't need. Yeah, I'm sure Becca would like it.
Cool. And so you're a big fan of Nike too.
Nike, yeah. Nike's my favorite brand just because of its history and for my purposes, shoes.
Yeah, you're not wearing your.
I'm not wearing Nike today, but
That's okay.
yeah, I guess you got to change it up sometimes, but Nike just has an incredible history of, I don't know, they started in Oregon and they started with like track and field, things like that, but just the way that they've been able to transcend like sports and like just, their like level of involvement in so many parts of life has really like made waves, I think, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, made waves. They kind of just created something from nothing, and they've got a story behind them, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and they partner with like some of the best people in the world. Now they're not just athletes; they're like entertainers, and Gary Vee, and in the past. Now I guess he's with K-Swiss.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you're big into business too.
Yeah,
like biz dev and listening to crazy podcasts that teach you a lot about what business is about and what they don't teach you in school.
Yeah. I think I learned a lot about myself with like self-educating and understanding what's important. I think in school you sort of learn what you think you're supposed to know and sort of fill that stock career. And as I was saying, we had a conversation before. My mom is an immigrant, so her mindset was always like, hey, just make sure you get a good career in a good field for stability. And now we have the resources to really enjoy what we do at work, and you don't have to save the fun for after work. You can merge the two. And with business, I think it's so interesting how you can manifest something so great from like your own ideas and watch it grow, whether it's hard at first or what have you. It's just a cool thing to experience.
Yeah, you make a lot of cool points there. I'm an immigrant family too. Like my parents came from Canada.
People might not know that, actually.
Yeah, I know, and I think that changes things. No matter like how subtle it might be, I'm Canadian and I look pretty like plain old American and everything. But when you're an immigrant, you kind of get treated differently.
A little bit.
Like on the playground, they're like, "Hey, you Canadian, like you like bagged milk
and like, and bagels."
And you just say things a little bit different, like crayons or colored pencils are pencil crayons.
See that? Yeah, even I think that's weird right now.
So that got hit pretty hard in the third grade when I was like, "Hey, pass the pencil crayons." I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
Yeah, see, I would have probably been one of those people. Thought that was weird.
Yeah, so that built up my self-esteem. getting beat up like that.
Yeah, you just kind of like, well, dude, sorry, I'm not really sure what you guys say around here.
Yeah, and eventually, pretty quickly, I just assimilated. I was like, okay, they're colored pencils. Like, please stop making fun of me.
Yeah, they're like, it's really not a big deal, guys. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Dude, but the thing about immigrants is, like, sometimes you become envious of people. You're like, oh, yeah, I've got, like, a family business that has existed for, like, 4 generations in America or what have you, right? Well, that's cool, but, like, you know, sometimes if you just immigrate here, you're sort of building your foundation from the ground up. And I think that's the difference. You have to, like, really bite the bullet and, like, find a field that works for you, or whether it's our parents or you. Like I was born here, but you are actually an immigrant, and my mom's doing it, so it's different.
Yeah. You are put in a position where you have to be scrappy, and you know, you're told you're different from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that is empowering if you look at it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, did you, like, have a chip on your shoulder when you were, like, a little kid and you had, like, something to prove very much?
No, not a chip. I think that's the wrong term.
Yeah,
a chip on your shoulder is like overconfidence, because that was definitely not me growing up. I was underconfident. You know, it was like just this thing that people could always just make fun of you for.
Fair enough.
And
you just kind of dealt with it?
I tried to. I'm better now, but I'm also an American citizen. But yeah, like I was saying, when you have something that makes you different, you feel different instead of just being one of the same.
Yeah.
I think it kind of sets a different mentality for you, which is, you know, both hard at the time, but then you get over it and then you're stronger for it.
Yeah, it just becomes a part of you at that point.
Yeah, I think life's all about getting stronger.
Yeah. In
many ways. So, sports.
Yeah.
You're another one of those people that like sports.
I love sports.
In the office.
I do. You like sports
Sadly.
too. I just don't.
I like to play sports and be involved with them when I'm actually throwing the ball or catching it or kicking it.
That, I mean, in fairness, that's probably a healthier obsession. I mean, I don't play very many sports well, so I just watch them.
And you are a football fan?
Huge football fan, yeah.
And your team is the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, I love the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
It sounds so random.
It is random.
Yeah,
Have you ever even been to New Orleans?
I'm actually going next fall for a wedding. My cousin's also a huge fan, and they're getting married in New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the football team, or just the
they
cool
love
location?
the football team. Like her husband has a Saints tattoo on his calf.
Okay.
Or her fiance, I guess.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, they got a great story. I think they're all around likable team, and some of the players I've really connected with, like on a personal level. I don't know them. That'd be great.
Yeah,
but I just think they have cool stories.
Mm-hmm. Like you were saying about that little guy.
Yeah, so there's this one guy, his name's Darren Sproles, and he actually was drafted to the San Diego Chargers, but played the majority of his career in New Orleans Saints. And the dude's like 5'8", and he's just like a monster truck of like strength and speed, and it's fun to watch him play. He actually just got injured this year, so he's probably going to retire.
Nice, man. Well, did I miss anything about you?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess we didn't talk about what I do here, but...
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We brought you on to kind of handle phone calls and some like salesy things, but fortunately, I think we've assimilated you into some other roles as well, which have been really impactful for the company.
Well, thank you, man. It's been so fun.
What's been your favorite part so far?
Unexpected. So I always like sales and customer service and things like that, but what I didn't anticipate would be so fun for me would be more of the project management stuff, like sitting with you and like physically like building out and planning new features. Like that stuff's so fun for me, man.
That's awesome. That's really funny you say that's one of your more favorite things, because when I first talked to you about working at Dubsado, that's kind of what I was hinting at. Yeah, you doing, and you're like, I don't really know what that means or if I'm gonna be any good at it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, man, and I'm glad that it's led to where it is now.
Cool. All right, well, Joey, that's it. Yeah. That's the end of our episode. Thanks for sitting with me.
Yeah, no problem, man.